Okay. There's like a shadow in here. Anyway, I am going to talk today a little about, we're actually going to clear, not just talk about it. Talking about things is okay, but you know, we need to finally clear and do something eventually. So we're going to be talking about the voice today. I did a post on my page. If you missed that, you can go check it out. And we're going to re-emphasize and keep emphasizing, hey Sheila, that there's a male and female energy within us all. And the lower part is masculine, not lower as less than, but just to say the masculine's here. Hey, Ashley, the feminine is on top. This is our energy field. It takes two to make the one. So just like a coin has a heads and a tails, it's still one thing. So this is a true aspect about our energy field. And in the center, the inertia plane, the heart plane, the very center, that hole, which is what I call black hole heart, not H-O-L-E, but W-H-O-L-E, whole heart. Whenever we're in that space, we're connected to source, everyone else that's in that space, and from that is what we pull reality out of. You can imagine even like getting a download from the space onto your inertia field, just like a CD, stick it into the source's computer, hey, I need this download, and then it gets lasered on here, and then you broadcast it out. Just a fun way to play with it. But there are some real correlations between how the computer works and how we work. Hey, Leanne. So again, we have our male component and we have our female component, and they are complementary. Whenever we're stuck in the dualistic world, from perceptions of seeing right and wrong and division, hey, Ashley, whenever we're in that world, what happens with what I like to call polarization, duality is the same thing. But when we see ourselves separate, and the world is separate, hey Dana, then what happens is all kinds of problems. We create the problems from the inside out. So here's your male component, your lower three chakras, upper three chakras are masculine. Hey Casey, and then you have the inertia field, which is where we create from. And that G spot, like you see the Freemason, the compass, and the square, that G spot is literally the heart space, which I'm talking about a new level of creating. Or let's just say it's always been there, but the realization of it is becoming stronger and stronger to me. So I'm sure everyone on here has heard of the law of attraction. But the law of attraction, like I've been saying, still makes you separate from what you need or what you desire, which is not true. That still goes back to when we fell out of grace, when we fell out of the Garden of Eden, which was just perceptional. Because the whole planet's the garden. How the hell can we fall out of it? We're not floating around in space. So our perception blinded us from seeing the beautiful garden that we lived on. And we saw each other as separate. And in order for you to harm something or someone, the first thing you have to do is make that thing separate from you. And governments and different religious belief systems have used this ploy over and over to brainwash people into not seeing the totality and the brotherhood, sisterhood, but seeing things separate. So when you separate somebody from something, then that person can harm it or treat it in a bad way. However, when you come back and see the unity, which first has to show up in you, you can go out in the world and rally against all the crazy crap that's happening. But until that shift happens within you, it's an inner inoculation of frequency. Inoculation, forget the flu shot, inoculate yourself with source energy on a regular basis. That is where spiritual immunity comes from. Spiritual immunity means no matter what's happening out there, I am immune because I'm inoculated to something higher. I see a higher, bigger truth. And that inoculation is your totality, male and female. And unfortunately, we've been taught to see that the creator as one half male, just male. But what about the earth? To me, it's wave and particle. The female holds the egg, right? Man has the sperm. Man, that's the wave and the particle. It's quantum physics. You bring those two together. It's not like man just waves a magic wand, you can just wave your wand, if you know what I mean, around in thin air, and nothing's going to happen. Okay? You need the particle, the part that holds that, because the earth is the ark. Man, it's holding and sustaining life and has been doing it for God knows how long, right? But we've been taught to separate male and female. You know, God is up in the sky somewhere away from all of us. And then Mother Earth, we just basically walk around on her, not even acknowledging the sacred divinity and her part in creation. I honestly believe that those two things work together. You need the sperm, you need the egg. They go together. And they're one side or separate sides of the same coin. And that is the totality, or what I'm calling TWOtality, which takes two to make one thing. Takes two to make a thing go right. Somebody said I should sing that song. I'm not going to sing it. So the totality is what we've got to get back to within ourselves. And as we do that, we begin to see the beautiful garden that we're in. And I was talking to Catherine, a friend of mine, and she talked about how she was listening to someone who talked about beauty was the first thing. You see beauty, and then love comes from beauty. In other words, like when I'm looking out there, and I'm looking out the window right now and just seeing how beautiful it is, there's this feeling that wells up in me. And you can call that love if you want to. So once we take the blinders off and we see that everything is connected and that my life is dependent on these things that I'm looking out at, and that I'm not separate from them, then what happens is it becomes very beautiful. I begin to see the garden. And when people try to separate us, hey Maxine, when people try to separate us, what happens is we begin to fight against one another when we're all one brother sisterhood. Everybody is part of the same genealogy, or what I'm calling the geonome. In other words, the earth holds the DNA pattern for every living thing on it. That's the particle part to the wave. Father sky, wave, sperm. Mother earth, particle, egg. They go together. And you can tap into the geonome of the Earth's energy field, if you're a healer, and play with this. Like, hey, I want to access the geonome for this issue, and then play with that energy field. But we can talk about that at a later different time. I'll get sidetracked there. So, but to the totality, bringing the two separates back together, Father Sky, Mother Earth, unity, and then within ourselves, our masculine, our feminine, to this inertia field, the trading floor is what they call this, and God is right in the center. That is the totality of who we are. Two, but one. And we've been taught to look at creation, or even our creator, as one thing, when really one separate thing. There's another partner to Father Sky, waving around a wand. No, Mother Earth is part of that, and Mother Earth to me is the ark. And when I talk about not drawing things to us to create us, okay, to create reality, imagine Mother Earth basically like a 3D printer in a way. This is kind of getting out there. I haven't thought about this before, just kind of coming in my head. But imagine Earth has like this 3D printing ability that when there is a need for something, the Earth combined with Father Sky together create new life. What if all the new species come at different times that just come from that geonome that is around the Earth? And new creations are happening all the time. It's the particle, the egg, and the wave that go together that create life. So the whole thing is that it's not separate. Earth isn't pulling something to it, like saying, hey, aliens, we need you to come here. No, the Earth is birthing the need or the fulfillment of a need through itself. And that is absolutely what I feel the new level of awakening and creating that we're being open to. It's just now starting to crack open. I see it. So I'm not looking at in the world as I need that and I need to align myself to it. No, everything is inside of me. Everything can come from inside of myself, not just by me alone. That's back to division in a way, but by me plugging into source, just like the earth is plugged into the source. So at the core of the earth, there is an octahedron. And I can actually pull some pictures up and show you where they see the imagery of the Earth actually looks like an octahedron inside. That octahedron space I've been talking about, which is the heart of the Merkaba, it is the air element in platonic solids, octahedron. That space is where when you dive into that space, you are connected to everything that has that space. Now, the more people that are in that space at one time, the more power that we can pull through, the bigger things we can pull through. Because it's like, here's this person, here's this person, here's this person. And as we pull things through, collectively, man, I can't even do the handshake. Some concepts are a little hard just to kind of, hand wave around. It comes out of us together and we create. So I want you to start really thinking about creation, not as I'm attracting something to me, but I'm tuning into the vibration and helping birth it from me. So that's why I'm focusing on these times calling anchoring the light. I'm letting the light come through me. I'm not going up this way. I'm not going down this way. I'm going directly into the heart space. So it's coming out of me. Like the rainbow Care Bears, the energy would shoot out from their heart. So we're tapping into that space deep inside of us. So, I think I've talked enough for today. I'll do some more posting on that, and I wrote something this morning. So if you want to go back and look at that, you can. So, touching your temples. Inside your temple is literally the Ark of the Covenant, which is the sphenoid bone, which houses the pituitary, the two-lobed 10 commandments being the hormones up here. Moses goes up to the top of the mountain where the light shines. This is the light chakra, right? Light. Thought, light. Light shines in. Moses gets instructions called 10 commandments or hormones, and that Moses takes that commandment to the rest of the body. The Bible is metaphoric for your body. You are the Word made flesh. You are the Bible made flesh. Those are all just metaphoric references to what's really going on. So by touching your temple area and your sphenoid, the Ark of the Covenant, let's lightly tap over that. That's gallbladder 1 point in Chinese medicine. I choose to calm my mind and my spirit. Sweep off the head. I choose to calm my mind and my spirit. I choose to calm my mind and my spirit. Imagine energy coming in through the top of the head, through the third eye, into the throat, coming in from all directions. And now we're going to focus on the feminine as a collective, whether you're a female or the collective female femininity on the planet, where that femininity has been, just like with the mask, with the coronavirus, the feminine energy has been hushed. So we're looking at the masculine creator, but no one's talking about the feminine creator anymore. The voluptuous female goddess, right? That is a reality, and we need that. So we're gonna take that suppression off of the awareness of the Mother Earth, whether you're a female taking this more personally, or just a person on the planet. And we're going to acknowledge that it's important for the feminine to have a voice, okay? What you say matters. And that has many different levels because it's not just M-A-T-E-R-S, it's M-A-T-T-E-R-S. What I say helps create matter out here by virtue of birthing it through my heart, through the ark or the true womb is what I really think that is. The womb is an ark, right? Females, you have the seeds of life in you, man. Without females, there'd be no life, right? So the womb is the ark, is a representation. Every female has an ark, is carrying the space that is holding life within it, waiting for it to be birthed or brought forth. So I want you just let's focus on the throat area, tapping lightly over your throat chakra. Making this personal, but also seeing the Mother Earth in the process too. Maybe even your own mother, your grandmother. Bring in all the females you can into your awareness, tapping over your thyroid. What I say matters. What I say matters. Now let's take it to the ring finger. The ring finger is triple warmer, which has to do with the endocrine system. So by tapping the ring finger, we're tapping the entire endocrine system, but focusing on the thyroid. What I say matters. What I say matters in my body, my family, my community, and my world. What I say matters in my body, my family, community, and my world. Other ring finger, other hand. What I say matters in my body, my family, my community, and my world. What I say matters. And remember, when I talked about this shape, the upper is feminine, the lower is masculine. So as you go out from the heart space, you have the throat and you have the solar plexus. Without a voice, you have no power. Without a power, you don't speak up. So it's about bringing those two together. And we're looking at the feminine, Mother Earth's voice, which, you know what? That voice has been suppressed. What I call white man noise. So here are the Indians really in contact with this place we call America. Everything has a spirit because they're that connected and feel it and know it. And then here we come with all our noise. We got the train, got a telegraph, beep, 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 beep. Now you're sitting in a house that has an air conditioning. You don't even hear mother anymore. The mother has been drowned out. You can't hear her. She's been suppressed. I mean, how many times do you really go out and listen to mother? This pause has caused us to do more of that, but on a regular basis, just being honest with yourself, how many times do you really go out and make an effort outside of everything else that is drowning her out just to listen to her voice? So, my Mother Earth's voice matters. My Mother Earth's voice matters. All right, let's go to the center of our chest. Tap the center of the chest a little bit. We're going to go from the Ark of the Covenant into the Octahedron, the diamond, pyramid going up, pyramid going down, the air element and platonic solids. I want you to imagine going deep inside yourself, but imagine that, so here you are sitting in wherever you are, and then you're going out, imagine going out into the galaxy, how big that is, and then the multiverse. Imagine that it is just that big and vast within you. So when you go in, you're not just going in 3 or 4 inches to the center of your physical body. You're basically taking a huge journey to the very, 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 very center core of who you are. And at that core is an octahedron. And at that core, that octahedron is basically floating in source, in God. Okay? That life-giving, life-sustaining force that's out there. Source force. It's what Jesus knew. Jesus always talked about the heart, going to the heart. I and my Father are one in this space. When you're in that space in you, and I'm in that space in me, namaste, we are one. God is like, Jesus is like, I and my Father are one. No kidding, so are you. When you're in that space, you and your source, your Father, are one, period. And from creating from this space, you've got a bazillion times more power than I'm just going to an affirmation of like, I am healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. I'm healthy, wealthy, and wise. But you're doing it from out here, separation. But when you take this inside and you do an affirmation or focus, that is when it really, truly comes through you. It's not showing up on your doorstep. It's coming and knocking out. Like I tell people, they talk about Jesus is knocking on the door. He's not knocking on the door to get in. He's already in there. He's knocking to get out, okay? Jesus Christ, your energy, your christened energy of being a divine being, divinely planned, divinely created, is knocking to get out. Because that's who you really are. So going into that space, I want you just to focus that intent that we talked about, giving the feminine a voice, the ability to speak up, to be heard. And that whatever the mother is speaking truly matters. It's actually creating matter. Yes, Dana, like Jesus said, these things you can do and more, totally. And Jesus is just saying, hey, dudes, and it's not like Jesus is going, I'm the only son of God. He's basically saying, you and I are all sons and daughters of God. So tapping into that divinity, being christened, being baptized in that source energy. And I want you just to focus on anywhere within yourself, within your family, within your community, or in the world where voices have been suppressed. And we're not going to focus on the negative long because there's no need. It just highlights something. Then you focus on the solution, not fixing the problem. Fixing the problem totally messes stuff up. Don't try to fix anything. You focus on the solution. The solution is my feminine, my women, my earth have a voice, and that voice matters. Lightly tapping the center of your chest. My voice matters. My voice matters. My voice matters. So we're going to do a little bit of a linking thing. It just popped in my head. So imagine there's like a little pyramid here. So tapping here a little bit over the temple area. My voice matters. Bring it down to a center point. My voice matters. And I want you just to imagine the energy of everyone being able to express themselves, because when people can express themselves, they're no longer chained. They're no longer slaves. There's no longer prisoners, okay? Which is really interesting around this time period where everybody was asked to put a mask on. Oh, how the hell can we really communicate and connect that way? We can't. We absolutely cannot. So, focusing on the throat chakra within yourself and within everybody around the world and the planet, because where people have a voice, things change. Things change. But it has to happen internally first, because this is what happens energetically. If you're in a relationship that is abusive or bad and you stay because you're trying to change the person, then you're not getting what's happening. That situation is getting you to shift yourself where it's like, I do not deserve that. And then that changes the situation. Not this person is doing this to me and now I've got to attack this person or make them better. Because those are the two options. I either attack this person or I work to make them better. Neither one of those work because it's an external working. What's supposed to happen in your environment is reflective to you. It's like, okay, that doesn't really feel good. So I'm going to go inside, and what in me needs to be shifted and aligned for me to have a better experience of this. Number one, respecting yourself, not to allow yourself to be in that situation. If you're in some situation where you don't have a voice, then you don't have power, and you don't have respect, and you don't have honor. Having a voice is the number one thing that everyone should have. So going deep inside the space, imagine you getting your voice and everybody else on the planet getting back their voice. And we're going to take a deep breath in, shrink the energy to the size of a pea. Send it out in all directions. My voice matters. My voice matters. And here's a little paradoxical thing. When your voice really matters, you don't have to yell. When your voice matters, it's easier to get your point across because you feel it. You have to feel your voice matters first before your voice really matters. If you're looking for other people to validate your voice and make that be your thing, that's not going to work. So you own that your voice matters. And then when you say something, you say it from your power spot, your solar plexus, right? So know that your voice matters. You're not trying to convince anybody, and you're not trying to please or plead anyone. You're just simply stating yourself and letting that be, because your voice does matter. Peace out. Be talking to y'all soon.